is Rob with Horror Pop After Midnight. I'm over here at Bircus, over here in Ludlow, Kentucky. And I'm here with the owner, Paul. Let's talk to Paul. How's it going, Paul?
Wonderful. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. So,
Pop-up, should I be like a scary clown? Boo.
well, you should be. You should be scary like Art the Clown from Terrifier.
Okay. No, I ain't scared. Us clowns, it's been rough on us lately. You know, a lot of scary clowns out there.
So you've been in the business for 25 years, right?
Yeah, I was a clown with the Ringling Brothers in 96 and 97. So I toured all over, lived on the circus train. It's been crazy.
Speaking of some crazy circus stories of your career in the circus, what was one of your moments where you're like, WTF, what did I just get into?
What did I just get into? Well, train was parked. It was a beautiful morning. You don't know whether the train, you're waiting on a signal change or whether they're taking care of the animals. So, you know, I'm out swimming in this pond and, you know, just in my underwear, and the train go, you hear the train starting to take off. And this was like, I was like Michael Phelps. You know, I swam so fast to get out, and I just made barely the last train car in my underwear, because I don't want to be like, you know, in the middle of nowhere, like Arkansas, it's in my underwear. But feet were all cut up for weeks because they were just the gravel, and had to just climb over all the train parts. And so that was a what's going on moment for sure.
So it made you become a clown.
Well, I've been acting out for attention for quite some time. And,
oh, really?
And I explain it that I could be dead, in jail, or in the circus. So it's a damn good thing I joined the circus. And I do a lot of work with kids in the criminal justice system. And I believe that we're going bankrupt locking up all these perfectly good circus artists. Because if you're good at stealing cars, you are focused and you're fearless. And we need a channel. Can we toast to that?
Yes.
Robin, to the troublemakers.
That's right.
The troublemakers.
Now, what's this drink you're drinking?
Well, I'm just drinking a light because I got a show here in a minute, but I know it's a podcast and it looks good. This is Kilpatrick's One-Legged. So 150 years ago or so, 100 years ago, there was an amusement park in Ludlow. So Ludlow, Kentucky is 150 years old, but about 100 years ago, the second largest amusement park in the world was here. And this guy, Charles Kilpatrick, he had one leg, and he did all these bike tricks. So he got attention by riding up and down the U.S. Capitol steps with one leg. And he was like the Justin Timberlake of the day. Like, you know, he was an umpire for some baseball games. He swam across the Mississippi River with one leg. So he performed in Ludlow 100 years ago. And there's a really cool full-page ad in the Cincinnati Enquirer. It says, you know, direct from Madison Square Garden, you know, Charles Kilpatrick at the Ludlow Lagoon. So this is our dry Irish stout named after a circus freak that performed here in Ludlow 100 years ago.
Wow. Now, tell us.
That's Wikipedia, too.
I'll have to look in Wikipedia.
Say it. This is my only link to Wikipedia, but it's Charles G. Kilpatrick. So, and Bircus is named as a little tagline at the bottom that we've named a beer after him. So he's a real deal.
So how'd you start Bircus and how it all began?
Well, we bought this building in November 2009. It was like the end of the world. We're bailing out GM, AIG, the Lehman Brothers. It was like, what's going on? Good time to buy a dumpy old property in Ludlow. So it was full. We had all this mold growing up in the ceiling, in the insulation. It was all this lead-based paint. It was a factory. So first it was a movie theater, and then it was a factory, and then it sat empty for like 7 years. And I kind of saw the space. I needed a building zoned entertainment with 20-foot ceilings, level floors, and three-phase power. Three-phase, you need to run fancy theater lights and a brewery. So we bought it in 2009. I met a guy in 2010 from Ghent, Belgium. His name is Matthias, and he brews Bircus to, that's the Flemish pronunciation, but I never correct anybody. It looks like Bircus. I know exactly. That's one of the first things in the hiring process. People come in and call it Bircus. We're like, yeah, that's fine. You know, we're just no interest in correcting people because we've been corrected a few times, Robin, haven't we?
Yeah, you corrected me.
I didn't correct you. I offered.
Yeah, you were like,
I know. I didn't. Well, you said something like a beer. I don't even know what you said. It's fine. Doesn't matter. It's beautiful. It's all. So anyway, I met a guy in Berlin. Was staying at the Anarchist Hostel. If you ever go to Berlin, everybody, make sure you get the connection so you can get the invitation to stay at the Anarchist Hostel. So, It was, I was dressed up nice, traveling as a big American, and I put this crisp $100 bill down. And the anarchist, like, you could see his teeth with his mouth closed, and he had Liberty spikes, and he was working the front desk at the anarchist hostel. He's like, "You effing American pig." Blah, blah, blah. And I just, cool as could possibly be, picked up this big, like, sofa kind of loungy kind of thing and put it on my chin, and like, "Oh, yeah." And I set it out very carefully, and the anarchist went from yelling at me to being like, "Oh, I love you. No, no, no." Calling, "Hans, Gretchen, please." It's so great. So great. So I met him, the guy over there. So he brews beer to fund his circus. And I said, that is a cool idea. So it took me, 2 years later, 2012, we started doing events here selling other people's beer. Okay. And that works kind of like the first time I did wrestling here with the Northern Wrestling Federation. Like, I had PBR Tall Boys. I had West 6. IPA, Hootie Amber, we didn't have any Miller Lite or Bud Light, and these people are like, "Where's my Miller, man?" Like, dude, Bud Light, they're all owned by foreign entities. If you want to support the Belgians, the Brazilians, and the Africans, they're like, "Bud Light's not owned by foreigners." I'm like, dude, they can American flag it all they want, but look it up, okay? Like, it is owned by foreign entity. So, but the first time I did wrestling, everyone complained because I didn't have Reese cups and Mountain Dew, because there's not a lot of there's not a lot of drinkers in the wrestling thing. I mean, they do love to, some of the people love to come and drink, but I was like, man, there's no memo, like no dummies guide to hosting wrestling. So if there's any people out there hosting wrestling, beer's all right, but you'll make a much better cut on Reese cups and Mountain Dew. So it's in our arsenal now. And
Or how about the hot dog and the handshake?
we've done some hot dogs. Are you talking about the pictures and stuff like after the show? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to. Hot dog and that sounds kind of like some locker room escapades I'm not interested in, Robin. I'm a clown, man. You keep your horror wrestling hot dogs and handshakes to yourself, baby.
Hey, I just had to ask.
Fair, no, cheers. We can toast to that. I do not know what a hot dog, I don't even want to know. No, I'll figure it out. Can you Wikipedia that? Can you Wikipedia hot dog and a handshake?
No, you can't.
Well, Wikipedia, I call on you to educate us fools on what on earth is it.
A hot dog and a handshake is, instead of getting paid, you just, I believe, I may be wrong, you shake the promoter's hand and you get a hot dog, and that's it.
Oh, no. I don't believe in volunteers because they show up. I mean, it's nice to go golfing, so I pay people maybe a little bit of money, but we've hosted circus artists from 43 different countries to Ludlow in the past 12 years. And I always tell them, we literally pay better than America's Got Talent because, like, I cover their travel and they have a place to live, and I actually pay them a little wage, which America's Got Talent pays you nothing. So NBC or ABC, whatever, they just pimp the hell out of these incredible artists. And no circus people have ever won America's Got Talent. I always tell them, if you want to lose it like some little kid with a ventriloquist or 12-year-old with a ukulele, do America's Got Talent, because they screw the circus artists, and they always kind of string them all the way along. My friends at Passing Zone, they were in like the very first season, and then they did it again 20, 30 years later. And it's just like, you're stupid, because that's the only thing that separates The Voice from America's Got Talent. So they're always screwing the dancers and the circus freaks. So wake up, circus freaks. Come to Ludlow, get some real work. We're not hot dog and handshaking. Like, that's an NBC hustle. That's an America's Got Talent. And I hope you hear that, Howie and Simon and all you miserable people. Anyway, there it is.
I'm trying to get. Okay,
I'm sorry. Political there. I guess exploitation is like the circus is all about exploitation. I mean, they pay people almost nothing, but people want to do it so bad. So I'm trying to build a new model of entertainment and education, and that's why we bought this movie theater, so that we can. So we sold other people's beer for 5 years, but you don't make any money doing that. So I set up my own brewery. We're the first crowd-funded brewery in the United States. We've got like over 300 investors, and it's pretty cool.
I'm liking it because right behind us is like the ring side, all that, and then you can see like the ropes and the stage.
That's right. Tonight we've got this crazy band called the Faux Frenchmen. So it's like this Gypsy Jazz. The guitarist is from Quebecois, and it's cool because tonight is a big college football night, but we have no 2x4 Jenga, no public Wi-Fi, no ESPN. We're like the anti-brewery. We only have 2 IPAs. So what do you book on the biggest college football night? Weird French Gypsy Jazz, and all the National Public Radio people will be here enjoying Circus. The people who are like don't care about football. So that these are the.
Hey, we like Gypsy.
I know. I'm just saying the wrestling. You got to kind of think counterpoint to things. When Cincinnati had their big craft beer bash, hundreds of people. We produced a circus opera, and we sold out. Because. Circus opera. Yeah. It was that's our second circus opera. So we do. The only folks I've said no to are the bronies. So that's the only people that. But anyway, you get that? You know who the bronies are? I don't know.
The bronies are like.
I know.
They scare me.
To the bronies. So they're the only.
Some of them are bikers.
I don't ask, don't tell. I just don't bring your My Pretty Pony to my stable.
Yeah, I heard a dog back there. What's all about that?
Well, that dog is actually not allowed in a restaurant. So Monty is his nickname. But in the middle of the pandemic, we were driving through Devou Park up there, and my daughter was like, "Dad, you got to stop. Stop. What is this?" So this little creature, 16 pounds, comes slinking out of the woods. So we ended up getting Monty. I put him in the car. Didn't know we were naming him yet. Put him upstairs in one of the dressing rooms. We did the show. I go down to the Family Dollar because we had another little dog to get like a flea dip and a collar and everything. And there's a woman there trying to buy a Dinty Moore and a 8-pound dog food. She doesn't have enough money to buy the Dinty Moore or the dog. So she puts the Dinty Moore away and buys the dog food. So I bought the Dinty Moore for her, and I say, "Hey, let me get you a pizza." Like, these are the dog gods interfering and making sure that Monty goes home with us. Okay. So my staff was all like, whoa, it was the middle of the pandemic too, and I was telling Hope, and I was like, look, I don't need another mouth to feed. I have 15 people on payroll. The world's shut down. Do we really need? But the dog up there, the park ranger said it's golden corral for coyotes, because at one time in the pandemic, you couldn't get a pet. 9 months in, December, November comes, they just throw all their pets away. So the coyote population tripled. So this is a beast that is, very, persistent and a lot of follow through. So my staff's like, "You can't do him, you can't." I said, "He's going to be in the show next Saturday." So I put him in the show. So I just taught him to walk up this little mountain of pads. It looked like a little Olympic thing, and I put him on my shoulders, and I walked on a keg, and he's only missed one show in about 18 months now. And his circus name is the Maharaja Mojo de Montague, because he's in Circus Mojo. We found him on Montague Road, and he's 60 pounds now. I had to talk to the health department because, again, dogs are not welcome inside because we serve food. We're considered a restaurant. But I swabbed his cheek. I sent it to 23andMe, and he's 1 part hyena. He's got a little Tasmanian devil in him. He's got a little bit of boxer and some Bengal tiger. So he's not all dog. So the health department guy was like, "What the?" Then I saw the Cincinnati Bird Show exemption because they sell pizza and beer there. And he's like, "That's in another state." I was like, "Dude, I'm kidding you, So he's a great guy. Well, let's toast it, Kevin, to the health department. He did not give me permission, okay, which is important. But at least you educate the people, I'm not seeking permission. I just want to let you know. He goes to the back. He never interferes with the people. He doesn't pose for pictures. So he's a good boy. If you stick around, you'll see him in the show.
Now, speaking of this, I'm drinking this great cider. So you made this awesome cider.
I did not make that cider. I don't have a license for the cider. My buddy Ben down in Lexington at Pivot Cider makes the cider. So Ben is a super dude, so we've been selling his cider forever. And that we don't have the license. We're going to add that to our license because we plan on growing. Yes, what do we got here? Oh, you just want the pictures? Oh, the ginger ale? Oh, I might have my little punk son come in and tell the story because it was his 5th grade science experiment, solids, liquids, and gases.
Really?
Yeah, pause. Let's just pause. I'll go make some pizzas.
Hey, how's it going there, Lucas?
Pretty good. How about you?
All right. He was telling us about the ginger ale here.
Yeah, you guys put this together. I'll step out because it's
Yeah.
a great story, but I got to get set for the show. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So, how'd you come up with this ginger ale with this science experiment?
Well, when I was little, I used to want to be a chocolatier a lot, and we were learning about solids, liquids, and gases in school one day, and she said, we're gonna do an experiment about it. So we just started opening up the brewery, and I know beer has to be carbonated and stuff. So I was like, hey, why don't we make a soda? And ginger ale was the perfect fit. Yeah. So the liquid in this is the water. The solid is the sugar that is melted down into the liquid, and the gas is obviously the carbonation.
That's pretty interesting. So a lot of people like your ginger ale.
Yeah, they do. Oh, I'm glad I made it for everyone. Oh wait, I forgot another aspect. The ginger, we grinded it all up by hand, shredding it, and then which is another solid, and then we squeezed it out, which was the juice, and it gives the ginger flavor.
Wow, that's just amazing, man. I wish I could think of something cool like that.
Thank you.
So how'd you make this ginger ale?
We made it by first putting like 60 gallons of water in our big brewing tanks back there, and then we did a ton of sugar. I forget how much, but oh my gosh, it was like bags and bags of sugar. And then we added the ginger juice to give it the ginger flavor, and then we had to stir it all up, make sure it was a great flavor, and it brought me back to when I was watching Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. I felt like an Oompa Loompa turning the big metal spoon. It was like the size of my height at the time, and I was stirring it, and it was a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I'm definitely have to try some of that ginger ale myself.
You do. Yeah.
And then I can give you like a thumbs up.
Tell us what you think of it.
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, yeah? Try it.
All right, I'm going to try this. We'll try this ginger ale. Well, it's organic ginger.
Uh-huh.
And it's organic water from Ludlow, Kentucky, but I'm a cheap-ass clown. It's just regular sugar. It's like GFS sugar. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yep, I'm glad you guys like the ginger ale.
Yeah, Paul, tell us where everybody can find you on social media.
Got it. Bircus Beer is the brewery, at Bircus Beer. At Circus Mojo is our Instagram or our Facebook. The Social Circus Foundation is a nonprofit that we've worked. Most of the kids here in Ludlow haven't paid a nickel to join the circus because, that's important. And, pretty soon it's going to be like expanding like crazy. I'm working hard to get fired from this organization so that it can like soar. I'm good at building stuff, but it's about time this clown just focuses on clowning. I got no business running a brewery and 2 pizzerias, So you might find me in the ring one of these days because I don't quit. I always get fired, So that it's about time. It's about time to bring it together. So it was so much fun to meet our friends from the circus, the new wrestling group that's coming in. And it was so neat because we get this email like, hey, they send us pictures. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I'm like, if you're real, give me a call. So we called, and then I'm like, telling myself, I wasn't even here. I was sleeping. I'm like, there's going to be some wrestlers down here, And it's so fun because you never know if it's going to be a gypsy jazz band, if it's going to be some, future wrestlers or, artists from Israel or from Malaysia, Indonesia. So, I really am so grateful for this time to connect with you and my staff who ran away and joined the circus. So that's, kids, what you got to do is don't listen to anybody. Join the circus, see the world.
Thank you so much.
Rock and roll.
Thank you.
Cheers.